or from the committee from which it came before you started enacting rules?
The agencies that have that are given the authority from Congress, they would take the lead on that, so our role is to review theirs. So I'm not sure the extent to which that's done. I assume it's done, but I don't know.
Congressman Westmoreland, I also agree with Susan Dudley that changes to regulation do come from all three places: legislative, agency activity, and from small businesses and their association representation here in Washington, D.C. But I believe, it's been my experience as the Chief Counsel, that the more agencies rely on small businesses to help them get it right, the better off they are. I see time and time again when a small business owner who's also the plant manager, who's also the accountant, who's also the HR manager, when they sit down with OSHA, when they sit down with Department of Labor, when they sit down with EPA and say, you know, you may have gotten this proposal wrong. Here's how I would do it. The discussion that is not adversarial at that point makes remarkable changes to the outcome. And I'll give you one example of how a regulatory change does happen. Bill Farron was a small business owner, very successful gas station owner from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And in the 80s, he got very upset that he had to fill out a federal form that told his local fire chief that he had gas on the premises. Now, because Mr. Farron was so aggravated by this, he decided to tell his members of Congress. He told my predecessor. He told the chair and ranking members of the Small Business Committee. He told the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Carol Browner, that this rule should be done away with. And because of the tenacity of that small business owner, the rule was eventually changed and done away with. And many times, Congressman Westmoreland, that's what it takes.
Sure.
I'm not the expert to speak on this for the IRS. Our chief counsel is the one that would really be talking about this. But I would say that we definitely look, first of all, we do get recommendations from all three areas you just talked about. But also, we do look at the legislative intent. As a matter of fact, it's one of the discussions we had about this particular issue for office and home deduction. As we came to the conclusion that it would take legislation to correct this, we looked at the legislative intent of Congress when they created the exception in 280A, and that's how we came to that conclusion. That is definitely something we consider also in our regulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Westmoreland. And